All right, Nick, let's talk about the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons coming up to a big matchup for them, especially as far as seeding goes, as far as the direction of this season goes. I think this game versus the Cowboys is going to be big for them to get potentially another win on the board. But there's some news coming out of the Cowboys camp that I think is going to be really good for the Falcons coming into this game. I'm Andrew, and this is Saturday Morning Inspection. All right, Nick, as I alluded to, the Falcons really good this season, 5-3 so far. But if they can get a win over the Cowboys and progress to 6-3, I think that's going to be really good for them going forward. But there's some news coming out of the Cowboys camp that I think Falcons team and fans are going to like because it really increases their chances of winning, as unfortunate as it is for the Cowboys. Let's get into the article and we'll talk more about this on the other side. Should say tweet rather. It's a tweet from @JohnMachota. It says Cowboys defensive end Micah Parsons and cornerback Deron Bland have officially been ruled out for Sunday's game at Atlanta. Trayvon Diggs corner, right guard Zach Martin, and linebacker Eric Kendricks are all questionable as well. If you've been around football for any period of time, you know those are 5 pretty dang good players on the Cowboys squad. For all of them to potentially, 2 for sure, 3 potentially not being able to suit up for this game versus Atlanta. I think that's going to be huge for Atlanta going forward. Get a easier win on the board. Good for them going forward. I'm curious what your thoughts are on this one, Nick. But before we get to you, Falcons fans, in the comment section below, injuries aplenty for the Dallas Cowboys. I think you're going up in the matchup against a team that's unfortunately extremely banged up. Should be able to come in and pull off a victory. So let us know in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on the final score of this one? Do the injuries hamper the Cowboys? Do you go win big? Or is it going to be closer than people think? Let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. But nonetheless, Nick, what do you think about this news for the Falcons?
I mean, first of all, you never want to be positive with injuries, right? But the reality is they're part of the game, and these certainly benefit the Atlanta Falcons. And they've got some injuries on their own. We're not discounting that. But when you look at this Dallas defense and the injuries that they've had, obviously they're losing. You know, you look at Parsons, he's one of the best players in football. Deron Bland was all-pro last year. Trevon Diggs has been all-pro in years past. So you're talking potentially 3 all-pros not playing, and that's not even discounting 3 other Dallas defensive ends that are also out as well. So this is just sort of a feasting opportunity for this Falcons offense that's been playing really, really good football. And to me, this is a big game for Atlanta because one of the things, it's a cliche, but I think it's so true. The good teams, the contenders, they win the games they're supposed to win against mediocre teams. And right now, the Dallas Cowboys are mediocre to bad, depending on how severe think the injuries are, right? I think they're a bad football team right now. I think they're probably middle of the road healthy, but the injuries are not very good, as we've seen the number of points they've given up on defense. This is an opportunity for the Atlanta Falcons to make a statement and prove they're a good team. One of the issues that kind of defines, I think, contenders versus pretenders a little bit is pretenders get games like this, and it's closer than you think. Maybe it's 31-24. Maybe they got to kick a field goal late to win 30-28 or something like that. Contenders, they go out and they beat up teams in this situation. I look at what the Buffalo Bills did last week to the Seattle Seahawks. I think it's a great example of that. How about when the Kansas City Chiefs beat the 49ers, a banged up 49ers team, by double digits in San Francisco the week before that? That's what contenders do. If the Atlanta Falcons are going to contend, and I think they have a real chance to, right? I think they're one of the best teams in the NFC. I think they're going to win this division. They've got a few fortunate breaks on their end with the structure of the schedule and who they're playing. Great time to play the Dallas Cowboys. I think they come out with a massive victory here. I don't know if they'll be able to hold Prescott under 10 or something like that. Maybe they will. Who knows? Prescott's been inconsistent. But I'm looking for Kirk Cousins in this offense, Bijan Robinson, Darnell Mooney, everybody, right? Kyle Pitts. I'm looking for them to have a field day, and I'm thinking the Falcons are going to have a great opportunity here to send a statement.
Yeah, Nick, and I think when you look at the Falcons, this is definitely a must-win for them because this allows them to start to pull away from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are only 1 game back at this point. I think if they win this one versus Dallas, it pretty much cements them because they have a relatively easier into the season by all accounts. You look at this, Dallas probably get a win there. Go to the Saints, divisional matchup, but Saints have been up and down as well. So that's probably a win. Go to the Broncos. The Broncos have been feisty at times, so I think that will be a challenge. Bye week 12, Chargers will be a challenge. Vikings will be a challenge. And then it's pretty much relatively easy street rest of the season. Raiders should beat them. Giants probably should beat them. Commanders could be a tight game, but that is a winnable game. And then finally end off the season at the Carolina Panthers, where if you don't beat them, you probably shouldn't make it to the playoffs anyways. So I think the Falcons are set up for success here, and it's coming off of a win against the Buccaneers, who they're trying to distance themselves away from. I think they easily, I've just picked in like one loss at the end of the season in these last couple games, one, maybe two, no more than that. I think the Falcons are set up really well. And I think this game against Dallas, which could have been very tough if all the starters come in, they catch a break here. This is a must win for them here. They have to capitalize on this opportunity.
Yeah, and you bring up a final point with the schedule. If they beat Dallas, and I think most people think they will, they got to get the job done there. You bring up that 3 of their last 4 games aren't guaranteed wins. There's no such thing, but they're going to be heavy favorites. 9 wins probably wins you the NFC South this year, right? So if you look at the structure of the division, you beat Dallas, you've got 3 likely wins at the end of the year. Even if you lay an egg against the Saints, Broncos, Chargers, or Vikings in some combination of games, you're still in a great position because you beat Tampa twice. This is a great opportunity at home to put yourself in pole position to win the division. Let's see if the Falcons can capitalize.